send every single person I knew a text message, and I would invite everyone to a Facebook group. So how does organizing really big parties help you in your leadership journey when you start getting older? So when I was younger, in my early 20s, I remember what I would used to do was organize really big parties. And I lived like an hour away from the city in a direction where not many people were living currently. I had some friends down there where I was living, and I had friends all over the city. And this is the capital, like the city of South Australia in Australia. And one thing that I realized, I learned all of these skills by organizing these big parties that showed up in my business career when I was working in corporate, and then in my personal development leadership journey whilst creating the Set the Standard community, the programs that we run, the memberships that we have, the workshops and retreats that we run. All of the skills that I learned from that party, the parties I used to create, directly translate into the success and leadership that we have in business for the Set Standard. And it is insane to watch. So I'm going to run through some of the skills and the techniques that I learned through big parties that you can use within leadership or business. So one of the things that I remembered was we did a multiple series. We had a party and it was called Eve, and it happened at the eve of every Christmas Eve. And it was amazing. We had like beer pong tables set up for days. I think it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, something like 5 beer pong tables. We had a room at the back of my house. We had a big grass. We had like an undercover area, basically like a patio with all the beer pong tables. We had a big grass area with couches and beer bongs like attached to every single house pole. And then we had a house out the back of the house, like a room, which was used as a dance party. We'd have people like set up DJ things in there. We'd put streamers and things everywhere. So the setup was legit, right? The setup was legit. And essentially what happened was we wanted a lot of people to come to the parties because we had so much fun. And we want to get more people coming to these EVs. And I think it was the 3rd or the 4th one where there were so many people. I think it was like close to like 100 or something people just coming from the neighborhood and just people around. We had just random people rocking up like it was insane. And we had some of the best times there, like literally the best times. And you know, we started really early because like, well, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So So what ended up happening was I wanted people to come to these parties because I knew how fun that they were. And for the people who were a part of them, the more people that was there, the more fun that we had. So I did this. I remember reaching out to people months beforehand that Eve was coming. And I would send every single person I knew a text message, and I would invite everyone to a Facebook group. It was like a Facebook group or a Facebook page. I created a chat and I would create a Facebook event and I'd invite everyone to it. In the meantime, whilst that was happening, I remember I would go and visit every single person manually. I'd hang out with them on a weekend. I'd go hang out with them in a friendship group. I would invite everyone to the beach so we would all hang out. So I'd go bring this friendship group and this friendship group. So quite a few of us would all hang out at the beach and we'd talk about EV because I'm like, yeah, I was studying business at the time and I'm like, what I'm creating here is mental and physical availability. So mental availability is they're thinking about EV all the time. Then physical availability is I'm there. So they're like, oh, like all we have to do is just like we can carpool with these people, how are we actually going to get there? So they're like, wicked, well, if Corey's there, then we're going to go and go to EV. And I'm not kidding. I had people help me set up the house, pack everything up, clean everything. Like it was pretty insane. And what happened was I ended up talking to people on a regular basis. I go and see everyone and bring them together. And then I would text them about EV. I would call them about EV. I'd ask them who they were bringing to EV. And then I would send everyone, I'd go on like Facebook and remember like I'd send them a text message and then I go through and message every single person on Messenger. And then I would invite everyone. I would send like a group chat where it would individually send a message to everyone, and then I'd send it in the group, and then I'd put it in the Facebook group page as well. Throughout the entire journey, consistent hitting points of people so that they would come to a party. And what I realized is that if you want someone to be a part of something that you are creating, you've got to give first. It's like, why would someone, especially in the 2020s, where it's the age of 2020, it's the age of attention, right? Where people's attention span is so small, and the most best gift anyone can give us is their own attention. Well, what can we do to give them their attention? And it's like, well, we're going to make all the beer pongs. We're going to hype up. We're going to hype things up with with beer pong tables. We're going to create beer bongs. We're going to have like a few of the people who are really into it, like talk to everyone about it. So they're hyping it up as well. So we created a huge general hype. So people are like, wow, we'd put food on and like have like certain food for people. We'd tell people to bring snacks so that everyone was really organized. They go, wow, this looks really good. DJ speakers, streamers, the rest of it. We had photos and obviously things from the year beforehand. Obviously, and that's how it got bigger and bigger. So that people were enticed enough to come. They're like, oh yes, I will invest some of my time to come to you and your party instead of this other birthday party or this other Christmas event or spending time with my family. I'm going to choose to spend my time with you guys. Really important. And this directly relates into business when you're creating events, masterclasses, when you're running seminars or anything like that. If you have a service or a product that you're providing, is it's like, how many times are you touching, organizing, making things happen for people so that they can come to something? And we have used that for our retreats. We've used that for some of our workshops. We've used that for what we do in order to change and have business success with our own community and try to create things enough for people so there's enough value there that they're like, oh, I want to invest my time here. And then, oh, this is fun. I actually want to stay. So I hope you guys have learned some lessons from how organizing big parties can create you business and leadership success. And I hope you go out there and use some of these techniques and either make a really huge party where people come, I'm kidding, but create something in your life where you can use these techniques to have a lot of people show up, get into your services, get into your coaching space, like whatever it is, and crush it. Thanks you for listening. And if you did enjoy this, please like, share, subscribe. That would mean the absolute world to us. Thank you and see you in the next one.